Hey guys, I had something happen today that I wanted to share with you because I think some of you have this going on in your homes, and this happened at school, but it's also part of my upcoming book, How to Parent the Frustrated Child. And while this was not a frustration, the tool that's in the book called the Zone of Proximal Development Planning Chart will help you with what I went through today. I'm sorry about the camera move. I had a little girl and I was reading with her, and I noticed she's very apprehensive about expanding out of her comfort zone and trying new reading. But at the same time, I know how much progress she's made, and I knew she could do it. And what holds a lot of kids back is just the mindset. Your emotions drive what you do. So if you have fear about trying new things, and in her case it was reading, that can really limit the amount of knowledge you are able to take in and able to process. So when she came to my reading table today, I had asked her to try a book that was harder than what she was used to reading, but I knew she was capable of. I had picked it. So what I was doing is taking her from where she was comfortable and asking her to stretch a little bit. Now, I did not pick a book that was too hard for her, because that would have just been frustrating to her. But it was something I knew I would be there with her so I could support her through it, but that it would also help her stretch. And this is totally a side note, but if you have the leveled readers, where I am currently teaching, it's like ABCD levels. Number one, please, as a parent, especially if your kid is in school or starting school, do not get hung up on the letter that they are reading at, or at least allow them not to get hung up on it. What we want to do is increase the love of reading for kids. And a lot of times they get so looped on what letter they're on, and then it becomes like oh, I'm only on this level, or I need to be on this level, instead of enjoying it. And then it becomes, as they get older, it just becomes more of a pressure to be at whatever level they need to be at. We really want to instill that love of reading and working on the skills necessary for reading. And I completely understand why there are levels and why they exist, but I think a lot of times they become either hindrances or hang your hats on. Either kids are so concerned about what level they're on or what level they need to be on, it becomes a mindset block for them to read, or it becomes a hang your hat on. Either they or somebody they live with is so excited about the level they're on or how far along they are, then it becomes something that they invest their worth in, a letter on a reading level. Not the love of reading, but the actual, just the letter reading level, or the color, or whatever the system is that's used, becomes more important than the love of reading itself. So please try and help your kids so that those reading levels that they have are not as important to you as the love of reading. And I mean that from my heart. It will make a huge difference. Kids that have the love of reading aren't constantly looking at what letters they're on. They're picking books because they love them. Okay, so anyway, back to my story. I side-storied my own story. I sat down with her, and she sat down, and I can already see that, and I know some of you parents deal with this, the apprehension before even starting. She saw the letter on the book, and it freaked her out already. Before even opening the book, before taking a picture walk, before doing anything, she had already mentally started telling herself and shutting down and saying she couldn't do it. And she said to me, this book is too hard. And I said, well, honey, you haven't even tried it. We don't know that it's too hard. And I said, you know what? I've been working with you now for a while. I know how smart you are, and I know how your brain is so awesome at reading. I want you to give this book a try. And I will be with you every step of the way. So if you get stuck, I will be your helper until you can do it successfully all by yourself, because you are there. I just want you to believe in yourself a little bit. So we took the picture walk, which is a great way if you're doing that scaffolding with reading to help kiddos feel comfortable. If you're still in the phase where they're reading books with pictures, going through the pictures and talking through, even if the kiddo doesn't, because some kids want to rush and start reading, the picture walk is so important because you're activating that prior knowledge. So go through them and discuss what's going on in the book. Who are the characters? What are they feeling? What are you noticing? Is there a theme that you see going from page to page? And then you can also point out vocabulary that's going to be in the book just through the pictures. So the first time the kiddo comes across a word that you know will be difficult for them, they've already heard it through the picture walk. So it's more apt to jump to the front of their mind to help them when they're trying to recall a word or sound out a word. And we went through the whole book, and I noticed the further along we went, the greater she gained her confidence back with reading because she saw she could do it. So she built her own confidence level as she went through the book. And then when we finished, I asked her how she felt about it, and she said it really wasn't that hard. And I said, part of it is coming to the table and being open to trying those new things and really believing in yourself and knowing that you can do it. And so that is that zone of proximal development. I became the bridge to get her from something that was easy and that she could do easily and help her walk over the bridge to something that was more difficult. So download the book when it comes out next week and get that zone of proximal development chart, because it's not just for the frustrated child, it really helps the reluctant child, the child that's having mindset blocks, and use that as a tool in your home and with your family. I am telling you, I've used it with all my years of teaching. I use it with my own kids at home. I use it, if you read the book, you'll find out about how one of my kids had a mindset issue that I had to help them deal with and how we did that. And I give you the tools in the book to help you do that. So just be sure to check in with that when you go through. And I was so happy to help her sort of walk over that bridge, and now when she comes to the next one, she's built that resilience and that confidence to be able to try those things no matter what that letter is on that book. She can walk into it and say, you know what, I can give it a try. I can do my best. I can use the skills that I already have.